Yeah. All right, I'm going to call to order this work session, the Monroe County Board of Commissioners. It's August 3rd, and we have one item, Mr. Cockrell.
Yes, and I cannot see if Mr. Stafford is in the participants list.
Or panelist list, you mean? Yeah, we have the attendees. Yes, Lynn Stafford. We do have that. Yep. Lynn Stafford is on the list.
And so Mr. Stafford called me, I guess it was yesterday, and he expressed something that I think we would be interested in doing. He expressed a pretty tight timeline for us to make a decision on whether we want to participate in it. I guess the best part of the news is that it is being funded by the federal government. And so it is a no cost item to the county. Essentially, he works with Drive Clean, which when I took the call, thought he was a dry cleaner, but that is not the case. What it is they are looking at use of fleet and those things to see if there are ways to reduce emissions to the atmosphere, and that Indiana is one of, I believe, 7 or 8 different states that's been designated as a pilot state for this federal program. And what they would be we would have an agreement with them that we would work with them, and that they would give us some guidance and some information on, how we currently use our vehicles. I think in the literature they would give us some demo vehicles, so you could demo some of the alternative fuel vehicles to see how they would be utilized for us. And again, this is at no cost to us. I asked him to come to this meeting, to this work session, because of his timeline, and I think it's reflective of things we've talked about as a county in the past, and having a free study to kind of look at just that component of our system would be great. I had not had time, but I thought this would also fall well, and we would utilize the Environmental Commission maybe to kind of help look at some of their data and their outcomes to help us process it. I also talked about the potential of rural transit, and we didn't get into a lot of detail on that because the county owns those vehicles, but it's really not a county operation. So I don't want to say that they promised to do anything with that, but we certainly talked about that, and he indicated how their group are working with schools to provide some electric school buses and things of that nature, which I think is a good step. And so I don't know if Mr. Stafford could be promoted and he could expound on anything that I've stated.
Mr. Stafford? There he is. Okay, great.
Good morning. Good morning. Jeff, those shirts came back. We put extra starch on them, but we couldn't get that one stain out. So these are the jokes for the morning. Good morning, commissioners. We appreciate this opportunity to be here today. I want to thank Clark Greiner over at Bloomington Economic Development Corporation, as well as Mr. Cockrell in this opportunity to be with you this morning. First, a little bit, if I can, about Drive Clean Indiana. We were designated as the 71st Clean Cities organization in June of 1999, so we've been in business for a while. Most recently, we changed our name from Clean Cities to South Shore Clean Cities to Drive Clean Indiana, as we have now responsible for the entire state as the dedicated Department of Energy Clean Cities organization here. Most recently, we're selected by the Indiana Department of Energy Management and the VW Committee to lead outreach, education, and marketing for the statewide EV network. We're working with utilities on logistics for the NEVI program. We've been awarded over $8.9 million in VW grants over the past several years. What I'm here today is to seek your participation as a partner in this program. We have our annual meeting on Tuesday, the 9th, and we would certainly like to make that announcement that you are on board. The Drive Clean Rural program is engaging leaders, business owners, fleet managers, and farmers to remove barriers to accelerate access to clean fuel solutions that deliver financial savings, clean air, and economic opportunity to rural communities. So clearly, what this does will save you money. It will save the county money. And of course, our ulterior motive is lower carbon emissions as well. What we do, this is just as a little bit about the program itself. This is an 8-state DOE funded program. It starts in February. We actually started on it in February. It goes into action here in the 3rd and 4th quarters here in Indiana. It's an 8-state project right now, and Indiana is one of the first states to kick it off. The other counties, there's only 2 other counties involved in Indiana, and they are Vandenberg and Spencer counties. What you will receive is free technical assistance, as Mr. Cockrell explained. We do fleet assessment, analyzing vehicle tasks, drive cycles and mileage, the duty cycles. And so we consult on optimal vehicle types, the class, size, and fuel types for any kind of job that you are doing now and into the future. We also then create a transition plan based on that data and your input, and helping to develop a practical plan that reflects fleet priorities, cost and benefits of fuel type choices. And this can be anything from, when I say fuel, this could also be electric, this could be compressed natural gas and propane. We have demo vehicles, as Mr. Cockrell mentioned. We've got fleet cars that run on both, and trucks that run on both propane and CNG. Many of these vehicles are also what we call biofuel, which means it will run on gasoline and an alternative fuel. And the value there is that there's no range anxiety, and you've nearly doubled the capacity for fuel on board. And it's free. This is your tax dollars at work. We're looking forward to bring Monroe County on board as part of this program. And do you have any questions for me outside of that?
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Stafford. We appreciate that. Can you tell us about the timeline for us and what we could expect?
Sure. To get on board is essentially requires just, I've passed along a letter that would just need to be filled in with your particular information, the county information, and that would be put on your letterhead and sent back to me. Then within 30 to 40 days, we'll be back in touch and we will start the process. We use the National Renewable Energy Laboratories process and evaluation in collecting the data. We would like to work with your fleet directors and anyone that you would allow on board to help us with this project, so that we get very specific data that will serve you going forward. And as a result, this will help sort of a snapshot, a benchmark to better inform the county on how to proceed with your transportation needs going forward. Not only in what you purchase, but how you manage your fleet. So I passed that letter already along to Mr. Cockrell.
We do have it. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
So that's the skinny, and then we just start to rock and roll from there.
Great. And then what's the end of the time frame though? When would we expect to see some information coming back from your organization?
Yes. Well, depending on when we get started, I would imagine this would be right at the end of the year, the very beginning, January, February at the latest.
Great. Thank you. Other questions from my colleagues?
Well, we have looked at biofuels already, so this really fits in with some of our own goals. And I don't know what the sheriff's department came to decision on, but they've actually looked at some electric motorcycles even.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this really does fit with what we are hoping to see within Monroe County.
Yeah. And, you know, and it does fit in well with our proposal for ARPA funding to really expand significantly our solar network. So that would help with charging electric vehicles. So we're very interested, and we've been pursuing this for quite some time. And, you know, we've whether it was a funding issue or now it's an availability issue of vehicles. So we've continued to run up against these little obstacles, but that usually doesn't stop us. So it's good to meet you, and we appreciate the information you provided today. And this is a really interesting program.
Well, thank you, commissioners, and we appreciate your consideration very much.
Thank you. Anything else? Other comments or questions or anything?
I just wanted to say the Environmental Commission has been working with the Resiliency Institute, and this is something that's going to play right into that. They'll be very excited to hear about it.
Very good. Thank you.
When we're excited too, most recently, I took a meeting with Fishers, Indiana, and they are raising their city hall. And as a result, looking at parking and zoning and that sort of thing. And so the decision-making that's going on, especially when it comes to electrical charging units and the like, this is an important time, because the decisions made here in the next 12 to 18 months is going to leave the legacy for the next generation on how our country manages its energy sector.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great. My colleagues, are you interested in considering a vote on this today?
That would be fine with me.
I am. Yes.
Great. I'm going to make a motion that we approve the partnership proposal with Drive Clean.
I'll second that.
Mhm.
Right. So we have a motion and a second. Let's see if there's any public comment on this item. Raise your hand on the Zoom screen or come up to the podium in the Net U Hill room. Okay, seeing none, we'll come back for a vote. All those in favor of approving the partnership proposal with Drive Clean signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, commissioners. We look forward to working with you.
We look forward to working with you as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Cockrell, for bringing this forward. We appreciate that. Anything else for the good of the order for our work session?
Not for me.
Okay, seeing none, we are adjourned. Thanks, everyone. We'll be back on August 10th at 10 a.m.